everybody knows this. And so what they're trying to do is lie, dissemble, and cover up for the fact that Joe Biden cannot go on the campaign trail like Donald Trump is doing right now. He has to be in Camp David for 7 years to prepare himself to be in a 90-minute.
Welcome to XCOM, Enemy Within.
That does not bode well for a man who says
Run 2.
4 more years. America, this is why we need to change leadership. Donald
Still
Trump
at the beginning of the game.
He's done this job before. He will do an excellent job for the United States of America once again.
What about the corruption? Where does your investigation of the Oversight Committee stand in terms of investigating?
Ah, shit, wrong button.
We're still continuing to do our work. We're still doing subpoenas for additional financial information. Listen, the Biden family, they went through aches and pains to hide this from the American people, to conceal all these transactions, obviously from Congress, but frankly from everybody. So it's taking us a lot of time, a lot of effort to dig up these financial records, but our investigations have not stopped.
Congressman, good to see you this morning. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Congressman Byron Donalds joining us. Good Gregg, the former physician to Presidents Trump and Obama. Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson on President Biden's capacity going into the upcoming debate. After more public gaffes raising concerns about Biden's health, now just 135 days away from Election Day. But first, Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired 4-star General Jack Keane is here. He will join me on China ramping up its aggression in the South China Sea as its Coast Guard damages 2 of the Philippines' Navy boats. That's next.
When you're in the military, you're really close with your brothers and sisters that are in the military with you. And when you get out of the military, you kind of lose that until you find a new family.
We could talk about our struggles and the things that we did overseas. And not everybody can do that. How's it going, brother? We live pretty close to each other, so he's always coming over.
When I go to Jack's house, we watch a lot of football, hang out, we go outside. The friendship has kind of grown into a thing. I was overseas on a deployment. I got separated from my Marines, and I got hit in the neck, and it broke my neck and paralyzed me.
14 years ago, I was on a training mission, did a military free fall, and I had some faulty equipment. I hit the ground going 30 or 40 knots, and was instantly paralyzed.
I met Jack Benning. He invited us to Park City, Utah through his foundation. I was able to actually get on the mountain and ski with my family. I can't put into words what that meant.
I got paid in the military to be crazy fun stuff. And after my accident, I'm still that same guy when I was able to jump out of a perfectly good helicopter at 10,000 feet. I did it.
I was talking to some vets last week, and it's amazing how you have these houses where they can come over because they're in chairs too. Carpet and wheelchairs don't mix very well. Tunnels, towers, they got rid of all that.
They redid my whole bathroom. That's probably the favorite part of my house.
I thought they were just going to do the upgrades, but the surprise to me was they paid off the entire mortgage.
When they told me they were going to pay off my mortgage, I cried. Please contribute $11 a month by visiting t2t.org now.
Concerns over Biden and China.
I've never seen a president so close to an enemy government.
Peter Schweizer has the latest, plus Charles Payne talks the economy on Life, Liberty, Levin.
These days at your local region, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the region. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our member perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at LinkedIn.ca.
feel funny. Where did it go?
News happens. America turns to Fox News Channel. And now, the biggest event is here.
Fight, you fire! Get out of here! I'll drop out a message for you. Not in our house.
The CNN presidential debate simulcast on Fox News Channel. Special free. And post-democracy 24 coverage. Plus, Sean Hannity from the spin room. The CNN presidential debate simulcast on Fox News Channel.
Do you expect China to go into Taiwan over the near term?
I do.
When?
The next 12 to 18 months.
And that is former Reagan administration official Roger Robertson
Shit.
with me on my new Fox Nation special called Underwriting the Enemy. It is available right now for streaming. As China's President Xi Jinping sets his sights on reunifying with Taiwan. Here at home, the New York Post is reporting that China has purchased farmland near 19 highly sensitive military bases in the U.S., including Fort Liberty in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Camp Pendleton in San Diego. Through the end of 2022, Chinese ownership of American farmland is larger than that of all of New York City, with nearly 350,000 acres. Joining me now is Fox News senior strategic analyst. He is retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here today. Give us your take on all of this farmland that communist China is buying in America, and why?
Yeah, well, China is conducting one of the most comprehensive penetrations of American society in our history. Certainly, the most extensive is their cyber espionage, stealing our secrets, stealing our intellectual property, but also putting malware in a lot of our critical infrastructure. So if war breaks out in the Indo-Pacific region, China fully intends to defeat us in the homeland. And buying the farmland close to military bases is part of that strategy. After all, if you own that land close to the bases, you can monitor and surveil what is taking place there. You can use drones and other listening devices to do that. And many of these bases are strategic platforms. I commanded one of them, Fort Bragg, which is now Fort Liberty. Well, that's where we deployed some of the elite forces the United States has in its arsenal from that strategic platform. They would monitor the goings and comings there. It's all part of this comprehensive program that the Chinese have. Some of it is actually kind of crude and primitive, like having people try to penetrate military bases and posing as hotel guests or taking pictures of what's going on around military bases. Seems like a kind of a crude method to gain information. They're testing our defenses and our security measures. It goes from the crude and trivial like that to something that's sophisticated, that's putting malware in the financial system, in our transportation system, in our electric grid. So when war breaks out, they can break down America at home. The FBI, I think, is overloaded with what China is doing to us comprehensively. And I wish they would stand up and admit as much so we can put more resources on this problem.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Christopher Wray regularly now raises this and says, yes, communist China is our number one threat, our number one adversary, but we don't seem to have changed our stance. I mean, all of this farmland, couldn't they also, affect our military bases if, in fact, there's a war? If they're so close to those military bases, could they actually destabilize those military bases in the event of a war? And then there's those 50,000 Chinese nationals that have come across the border over the last year. Why are they here? You can't just pick up and leave China, right? Is this a plan, Xi Jinping's plan, to have boots on the ground in America? Should things turn more hostile?
Well, on the bases themselves, 33 states have taken legislative action within their states to stop this land grab from taking place by China. And Chairman Molinar of the China Select Committee and other members of the committee are proposing federal legislation to stop this from happening. And that which already has happened, is a security issue, to take it back because it is a national security issue. So I think that we're moving in the right direction. I think we got caught a little surprised by it, but now we're tuned into it and taking appropriate action. The good news here overall, Maria, is the American people in the Congress are very much aware that China is the United States' #1 threat. And clearly there's true consensus on that issue.
But they don't say that, right? I mean, every time you hear President Biden talk about China, he calls China a competitor. He has not called China
Fuck, that was close.
Well, China is definitely an adversary. There's no doubt about it. And even if it was just a competitor, we should be doing everything to win the competition. And we try to avoid confrontation. We try to we push appeasement and diplomacy and try to keep things tampered down when obviously China, as a bully in the Indo-Pacific region, is raising the temperature quite significantly.
Yeah. General, real quick before you go, Bibi Netanyahu will address Congress on July 24th. We are waiting for this. Obviously, the Democrats are very upset with Netanyahu. AOC called him a war criminal. What are your thoughts in terms of this administration holding back weapons to Israel during the fight of its very survival?
We will be in touch, Commander.
Yeah, well, this is one of the most disappointing foreign policy things I've observed in my lifetime. I mean, Israel is our #1 ally in the Middle East. You can make the case it's one of the strongest allies we have, period. We were very much in favor of the formation of the State of Israel in 1948 by the United Nations. And we have stood side by side with them through Democratic and Republican administrations, particularly in time of war. If they needed our assistance, they never needed us to fight for them, but we certainly gave them assistance. And they are in an existential threat right now that they have not seen since the state was formed in 1948. And we have to remind ourselves of that every time we're talking about Israel.
Yeah.
This is their motivation. They're fighting for the very survival of their people. And Hamas and the Iranians have all come together to do quite the opposite. They want to make the security situation so volatile in Israel that people don't want to live there. That the small number of people, that the Jewish people live there, 7 million or so, will choose to raise their children and their grandchildren someplace else. That is what this is about. It is about their survival. And for us to hold weapons back from Israel, to pacify people politically, is absolutely outrageous. We're risking the security of this nation in doing that. And we should not be telling Israel how to fight its wars. And we have policymakers who don't know much about how to fight wars, to be frank about it, and we know them by name, who are doing this with the Netanyahu administration. That is, it makes no sense whatsoever. And whose hand are they strengthening here? They're not strengthening Netanyahu's hand. They're strengthening Hamas's hand. They're strengthening the Iranians' hand. They're encouraging Hamas. His leadership believes they're winning. Iran believes they're winning. Iran is talking about the next time we do this, it's not going to be sequential. Hamas is going to attack. We're going to do this synchronized and coordinated with all the proxies attacking at the same time. That's the lesson they're getting out of here, out of this, that Israel is vulnerable. And the president should be standing steady against all of that, not just rhetorically, but certainly providing the weapons that are needed.
General, thank you so much for your incredible insights. Fox News Senior Strategic Analyst, retired Coast Guard General Jack Keane. We'll be right back.
Citi's industry-leading global payment solutions help their clients move money around the world seamlessly in over 180 countries, and help a partner like the World Food Program as they provide more than food to people in need. Together, Citi and the World Food Program empower families across the globe.
The new engineers arrived this morning, Commander.
Homeowners, when your water or sewer line breaks, it's expensive and often not covered by basic homeowners insurance. You could pay thousands. Finding a good contractor can be tough. What, this guy doing the job? With a plan from HomeServe, call us. We'll send a contractor and there's no big bill. Easy. But don't wait. Get a plan from HomeServe before a line breaks. Go online now.
Plans from HomeServe start at just $7.99 a month. Call 1-800-324-6904 or visit homeserve.com.
Did you know omega-3 fish oil supplements can be difficult to absorb depending on your diet and may not reach the places you need them most? That's why I recommend Cunol Advanced Omega-3 with up to 10 times better bioavailability. Cunol houses its omegas inside phospholipid cells that our body cells can easily absorb, delivering up to 10 times better bioavailability to better support your heart, joints, brain, and eyes. Cunol Advanced Omega-3, the power of 10x. I remember seeing St. Jude commercials on TV and wondering, like, is that place legit? Like, those commercials are nice, but is that, like, a real thing? And having lived it, I can say for sure that that money is being put to incredible use. I've never once had to wait for insurance to approve a test or approve a medication. We didn't have to worry about any of those things thanks to the donations. And our family is forever grateful because it's completely changed our lives.
Ignite the celebration this 4th of July with the outdoor fun and flavor that's better on a Blackstone. And join the more than 11 million Blackstone users who know this is the way America cooks outdoors. With an enormous variety for your whole neighborhood. Freedom has never tasted better. With a Blackstone, you're free to cook anything, anytime, anywhere. Go to your nearest Blackstone retailer or BlackstoneProducts.com now and make everything better on a Blackstone.
We really don't want people to think of feeding food like ours as spoiling their dogs. Good, real food is simple. It looks like food, it smells like food. It's what dogs are supposed to be eating. No living being should ever eat processed food for every single meal in their life.
It's amazing to me how many people write in about their dogs changing for the better. The farmer's dog is just our way to help people take care of them.
Dan made progress with his mental health, but his medication caused him intentional movements in his face, hands, and feet called tardive dyskinesia, or TD. So his doctor prescribed Austedo XR, a once-daily TD treatment for adults. Austedo XR significantly reduced Dan's TD movements. Some people saw a response as early as 2 weeks. With Austedo XR, Dan can stay on his mental health meds. Cool air.
Austedo XR can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, or have suicidal thoughts. Don't take if you have liver problems, are taking reserpine, tetrabenazine, or valbenazine. Austedo XR may cause irregular or fast heartbeat or abnormal movements. Seek help for fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, or sweating. Common side effects include inflammation.
I'm gonna save this big time. Doesn't look like your average level.
Ask your doctor for Austedo XR.
Peace out, guys. I'll see you next one, alright?
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security